Alright, hello everyone, welcome back. I'm your friend InSexO. In the last video, we have learned about the ML agent, which is a framework that made by Unity to do some machine learning. And today, what we are going to do is to actually implement that kind of stuff by ourselves or use that technology by ourselves, because only by learning something is not enough. We have to actually use it. And that's what makes us a better person at the technique side, because in the end, no matter what kind of technique that we create or learn, in the end, what we want to do is to use it in the reality to change our physical world. So let's get into the old project first. You know what? I won't use this one. Let's just create another project than this one. So we are going to create a new project, and it's a general 3D simple scene. Yeah, I'm going to call this project ML Ball. Then I'm going to hit the create project. Alright, this is what we got, but we will not use those scenes. I'm going to delete them all. From the scene, we are going to create a new scene. Here we go, new scene. And the name for it would be playground. Then I'm going to delete those older scenes. Yeah, after that, let's add an object to our scene. We're going to add a plan. Now we got a plan. What else we need? We need a ball above it so that we can control it using the machine learning. So it should be a sphere. Yeah, but for this sphere, we need to give it a little bit corner. Otherwise, it will look tedious. So let's go to the material and create a new material. I'm going to call it layer. For this one, I'll give it a blue corner. Then I'm going to pass it to our little ball so that our ball have a blue corner. Then I think this plan probably not that big enough. We're gonna scale it in the X and Y position. How about we scale it by 5? Probably we should also scale it in the Z direction. Now we got a bigger map, but it's probably too big. I don't like it. So how about we set it to 3? Alright, now it seems like, yeah, it's right. It's right. So this is our map. Basically the start point of everything. Now I'm going to rename the sphere to layer. And also I'm going to duplicate a ball and I'm going to call it. Oh, sorry, I didn't do that. Duplicate. Here we go. I'm going to duplicate one and call it target. And for this ball, I'm going to move it for a little bit and we should change its corner. So let's duplicate. Oh, sorry, let's just create another material and I'm going to call it targets. For this material, I'll give it a right corner and here we go. We got a right corner out there. But for the whole planet, it's not so obvious. So I'm going to create a new material. For this material, I'll just give it a right corner and this should be the ground. And I'm going to put it into our ground. Well, maybe this is too light. How about we change it for a little bit? Alright, this will be fine. Now we got our plan set it up. Yeah, anything else that we need to do? Yeah, of course, we need to have some... Alright, let's forget about that. Now let's focus on the ML part. So if we want to do that machine learning kind of stuff, we need to import a package from the package manager. And it's called ML Imagine. We need to install that right in here. Yeah, after the installation, let's open a website. It's probably called ML Agents, I don't know. Here we go, and what we need to do is to get into the documentation so that we could get started to do something with it. What I wrote here is so simple, but the reality is if we have ever read that, if we have ever watched this series of video, you would know that it's a long process. It's not just 2 pictures. That's not true. Because I have no idea what they are talking about inside of all those documentation. So I decided to get into the old source code that we have. Maybe we could find something from it. For example, this file, whatever board agent, we may need this one. So I'll just copy it into our project. Then I'm going to create a new script, and I'm going to call it board agent. Then I'm going to double click those files to open it in the Visual Studio. Yeah, I was thinking about one thing. How can I use VIM inside of all this editor? I don't like it. I need the VIM. I'm pretty sure I have installed this one, but doesn't really happen. That's weird. I'm going to create it. Then try to open it again. Now we got the VIM. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna do something, right? So at the beginning, we need to actually import a few stuffs. God's sake. Why it has that weird sound? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have already disabled the system sound, but why I still could hear that? Sounds stupid. Okay, so actually I don't know how to disable it. I'm going to do a search. Oh, I'm pretty sure the Visual Studio is a bad software. It cannot even turn off its sound. Shit. So let's forget about it. Let's see if we can work with this. Though it's shitty, but we're gonna do it with it. So we need the ML agent, and we need the ML agent sensors, and we need to override a few functions. Alright, so let me say what kind of function that we need to override. How about we just copy all those code and do some modifications based on that. Okay, at the beginning we have a different class name. We have the board agent, and yeah, and it's inherited from the agent class right in here. We do not need the old code anymore. Now let's focus on the new class. For the new class, I guess the most important two stuff is two objects that we have. So I'm going to put it on the top of everything. The first one should be the ball, or the player, or player ball, whatever you call it. It should be an game object. Probably I did something wrong. We should first specify the type, then specify the variable length, something like that. Here we go, we get it right. And it shouldn't be a private one, it should be a public one. And another one, it should be the targetable. Okay, now we got two objects, set it up. And for the first initialize function, what we need to do is to get the two objects or not. Alright, we don't need this the two lines here. Then let's go on. On episode begin, we're gonna do something, right? But this is not what we should consider for now. So I just comment all of those codes. Then on action received, we should receive a bunch of actions, and based on that action, we should do some changes for the game environments. But for now, I just comment them all. We don't need that for now. Then collect observations. This is probably very important for us, so we'll do that first. Heuristic. This is probably the function for us to do a test to say if our bounding logic is correct or not. But yeah. But for now, I just turn it off. I mean, comment all of them. Raise agent. What is that? I don't know. I just keep it there since it has no errors. Then move to a safe random position. That's probably a good function, but for now we don't need that, so I'll just comment it out. Update nearest flower. This is a specific function. We don't need that for now. On trigger enter. Well, on trigger state. What is that? Called when the agent's clatter enters a trigger clatter. Second function as called will be called when the agent's collector stays in a trigger's collector. Okay, so basically we do not need the second one. We just want to know if the ball is hitting some stuff or not. We just want to know that. So yeah, we don't need that. Okay, so when that happened, we'll get something. But for now, I will do something. But for now, I just comment it out. And here's another one called when the agent collects with something solid, and we probably do not need that. So I just turn it off. Update, fix, update, all of them. I just comment it out. So now we only got a few, let's say a few errors. The first one is collect observations. This is the one that we should take care of and maybe take care of first. Yeah, those lines we do not need. Okay, let's say what we really want from the ball. Do we need its rotation? I don't know. Maybe we don't need that. But we definitely need its position, so let's do that. Two targets should be the player. Well, why we got an arrow? Oh, it should be player ball. Player ball, that's position. Can we have its position? Transform that position. Yeah. And to the target position, that will be target ball. That's transform that position. That's it. We got the first, say the first information, the position. And another one. What? Oh, sorry about that. The position. Okay. Now, if we think about that, we probably got this is a direction where the target, where let's say it's a direction from our player ball to the target ball probably. But do we need anything else? Yeah, we definitely need that. So besides the direction, we will generally also need the distance from our player board to the target board. So to target that magnitude, that's the full length, it's gonna divide by the area diameter. Oh, okay. Do we need that? Yeah, why he do this division? Because he just wanna get a float number. That's why he do this. But let's say for our situation, do we really need to do that or not? We got a plan. For this plan, okay. To be honest, I don't know the area for this one, so I'll just use the magnitude directly. Yeah, I don't care the actual number for it. So basically what we give to the neural network is 3, 1. So it's 4 informations or 4 elements inside of an array. Okay, that's that. And how about we make some changes to the heuristic stuff? To be honest, in the last video, I actually do not know the meaning of this word.
Heuristic.
Heuristic. Enabling someone to discover or learn something for themselves. Yeah, we are going to reuse some of its code. So forward, backward, left, right, that's all we need. We also need to use the 2 variables here. Yeah, after that we need to combine it, probably. After the combine, we need to actually determine the outputs for all of them. But to be honest, for this simple problem, we only need the 2 output, the X output and the Y output, since we will be moving this ball or player ball in a 2-dimensional plane, go up or down, left or right. So that's this one. We probably could do a test even for now, I think. Probably we could get it right. But how can we do that? Okay, we're gonna go to the player here. I'm going to add what to it? I think we should add something to it, but I don't know which one to add, so I'm gonna take a look at this. Getting started guide. Okay, so we at least need to give it the behavior parameters. This is a script. Do we have that or not? Behavior parameter. Oh, we really got that. You know, here after I added that component, right in here. After I added that to our player object, we get it right in here. Okay, then I'm going to add this, to be honest, add our own script, the ball agent, to this component. So I'm gonna drop it into this component, but it didn't work, so I'm gonna do it by myself. Ball agent, here we go. After we added all those stuff, we can get it pretty much here. Let's do something. The behavior length should be equal to, I'm going to change it, ball behavior. All right, the space size, what's the space size that we should give it? Since we know that the observations from the comment that we know for this line of code, we got 3 observations, and from this command we know that we got 1 observation, so all in all we got 4 observations, which means we got the observation size, space size would be equal to 4. And the vector action, it's a continuous action. The space size, what it should be, let's say it should be 1, 2. We basically only have 2 outputs, so we'll set this space size to 2. And we got no models for now, that's fine. And I'm going to set the behavior type to heuristic only, which means we can play around with it. So was that all? No, we didn't finish yet. We need to drag the player ball and target ball into the script so we can make it correct. So I'm gonna drag it to the player, then drag this one, the target, to the target ball. That was alright. So for now, do we need a camera or not? I don't want to set it for now. So just run this game. Alright, now we got a pretty weird scene, so I don't like this scene. I'm going to switch back to the scene table. From there, let's say, okay, what's happened here is that we cannot control it. Kind of weird. Maybe before we get started, we need to actually set it up a camera first. Alright, so let's back to the player. I'm going to set the camera, agent camera equal to, how about the main camera? I don't care. Then we need to change the view of this camera. It's not in the right position. Alright, now it seems to be kind of correct, but we need to change it a little bit so that it can actually see the whole picture of our game. Alright, now I somehow changed the position and rotation of our camera. Let's play it again. Now, as you could say, we got a pretty nice view, but I couldn't control our ball. So what's the problem? If we go back to the script, you would know for this one it only generates out the action, but it didn't actually control our ball, so we need to do some reaction based on that actions it output or generated. So we need to fulfill this function. We do not take action if it's frozen. That's correct. Then we're gonna do some actions here. Probably we do not care about that for now. So let me see what we could do. So basically at the beginning we got the move. We got the move action, or maybe I'll copy all of them so that we will not mess it up with the old code. So at the beginning, we get the first element of the output, the second element of that output, the third one, it does not exist, so I'll just give it a 0 number out there. Then we're gonna add some force to the object that we are in, that we want to control, and for now that will be. Okay, that would be just the player ball dot rigid body, or let's say game object dot rigid body. Oh, sorry, why cannot I make it right? Let me try it again. Transform dot rigid body. No. Oh my god, I don't know how to do that. So that's kind of weird. How to get a rigid body from an object in Unity? Well, it can be as simple as this one. This line of code can be quite simple. So I was kind of right, but I forgot to add this symbol, the parentheses, I guess.
Parentheses.
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 Parentheses. Alright, that's how we read it.
Parentheses.
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 Parentheses. So we call this one parentheses. Yeah. So let me do this quickly. Get component and 8 force of the move times the move force. Genius. And why we need to get the current rotation, I don't know, maybe we don't need that. There are just some calculations for it to calculate out the new rotation kind of stuff, but for our case we do not need the rotation kind of thing, so I just leave it there. We'll just use the force to do this kind of thing. Alright, now I think everything was correct. I just want to go back. I still think my computer doesn't have that computing power to speed up the whole process, so it's still not that good, I think. But this is something that we can endure. Well, when I press the keyboard on my computer, it doesn't really move. It do not move, so where's the problem? Probably we should change the move force a little bit higher. How about 200? Well, for this case, it's still not working. Not working, so sadly. So where's the problem? So here I'm gonna print out the console. Console that what? Okay, I even forget about how to do the log in the Unity. Debug log. Yeah, that's correct. Let's do it. We should get something from the console. Let me say, clearly I couldn't receive anything from the console, so this function didn't been called. So let's get into another one. How about this one? Have rustic. I just want to know if it's being called or not. If it's get called or not. Action out, the first element of it. Alright, it's not really working. It's not working at all, to be honest. So none of those functions has been called. Okay, after struck for a while, after I added a new component, decision requester, I start to see some error messages. It says that no Ratchet body attached to the player game object, but the script is trying to access it, so we just try to add a Ratchet body to our object. Then after that, we shall be fine. Let me try it again. Let me try to run this game again. Oh shit. For now, I could say a lot of log, and actually I can control my player, but we get some problem. We need to fix it. So at least now it's working. It's working. We just have to do some adjustments. For example, for the move force, this is too big. How about we just change it to 2? And we don't need those logs. For this one, we don't need that. For this one, we don't also need that. I'm gonna save it. Yeah, after that, let me try it again. Now, as you could say, I am moving the ball. Wait a minute. We definitely have some problems with it. Oh, now I know where's the problem. So as you could say, when I adjust the X value, you will see that that ball goes up and down. And when I change the Y, the ball also up and down, but that's not what we want. Actually, we want to change the Z, because if we change the Z, the ball will go left or right. That's exactly what we want. So instead of change the X and the Y value, we should change the X and the Z value. Now we should be fine. Now if I press the direction key, you would say our ball start to move in a very strange way. I just want to reset its position. Oh, sorry, it's keep moving. It's keep moving. That's too bad. Okay, a little bit tricky, but I think we could fix that. Definitely, we could. We're gonna increase the move force from 2 to, how about we set it to 10. And we try it again. Yeah, for this time we can definitely move it something like this and move back. Oh, something like that. It's kind of weird, but we're still trying to control it. Although it's not moving like what I want. That's so tricky. So we probably have some problem with the force problem. So instead of adding the force, how about we just how about we just change its position? And meanwhile, we could do something about the player. For the rigid body, we're gonna do some constraints. Gonna fix some of its position. For example, we're gonna fix the rotation. We do not want it to rotate. And all we want to do, instead of add force to that ball, what we really want is to change its position directly so that we could have a better, let's say, way to manipulate it. Player ball that transform that position 8 equal to the move. Now we should be fine. The only problem is it's too quick. We're gonna change it to change the force to 1. How about we just set it to 1? And for the decision request, decision parameter, can set it to 1. Now I could move this ball. Shit, why it just disappeared so quick? I didn't say it anyway. Okay, we want to change its position, but not in this way, but in a constantly way. So move that normalized, and there should be normalized. Then we're gonna use we're gonna use the 8. That's fine. Let me try it again. This shouldn't be a hard problem, to be honest. Yes, I think it's moving in and not so quick, but still kind of quick. So I need to change it for a little bit. For example, I'm gonna ham the whole stuff by 0.1. Whether that work or not, cannot apply the operator of type vector 3 with the double. Why? I think it should work. Okay, let's say we're gonna tam vector 3 that scale. No. Okay, how can I tam this one? Unity vector 3 scale times float. Yeah, I think that's correct. We could do this, but why he said that we couldn't do that? Okay, we could definitely if we give it a float number. So 0.1. Yeah, for now we could just move that ball as fluently as possible, just like what I expected. And our mission for this ball is to let the blue ball meet the right ball. If he somehow touches the right ball, then he wins. That's a basic logic. Now let's do something more about it. We're gonna design something. Okay. When a new episode begins, what we need to do is to first we're gonna reset the target ball. We don't want it to move anymore, or sorry, the player ball. And after we have resetted that, what else we need to do? We're going to spawn our player ball in a written position. What I mean is I'm going to put this blue ball in any position inside of this map. Anywhere would be fine. Yeah, the problem is how can we do that? So basically we are going to get two written numbers. The first one is x and the second one is z. So written x and the written z. For the range, what's the number it should be? To get that kind of number, we need to actually have a look at this map. So if I put this one, why it's getting so big? That makes sense. So if I move this ball in this position, we'll get the z equal to this number. Copy that. That's a max number for it. And if this ball inside of this position or at this position is at that position, then we'll get a negative float number. Then that's a minimal value of that. And to be honest, this should be the z. Then let's talk about the x. If this ball is in this position, the x would be negative this kind of value. We copy that. And if this ball is in this position, we'll get a positive float number like that. Nice. Now we got two written numbers. And what we need to do is actually use it to spawn or move the player ball into that position. So that will be player board dot transform dot position equal to a new vector 3 of written x, 0, written z. That's it. Easy and simple. You know what? I think this is all we need to do for now. Was that real? No, actually no. We still have something to do, you know. After we set it up, the kind of initialize stuff, then we need to set the reward function because we want to let the machine know whether he is doing good or not. If he's doing something bad, then we're gonna punish it. Otherwise, we're gonna give it some reward so that it can learn from his movements. But I didn't see that function. It should be in somewhere. Okay, here we go. Here we got a function called add reward. Where is that function? I didn't see it anywhere, but it's still in this code. Add reward. Yeah, how about we uncomment it to say if we have this function or not? Well, we really got this function. It's right in here. It's inside of this class. So I'm gonna look more and more about this thing. Alright, so here's the logic about the reward. Since we all know to target magnitude as the distance between our player ball and the target ball, according to this statistic data, we know that we have a range 50 minus negative 50, which is 27. That's the range in x. And another one is 14 plus 13, which is also 27. This is the whole range for that. So let's say here the magnitude should be divided by 27 because that's area, diameter. Probably, I don't know. I just want to do that. And for this one, we're also divided by 27. I'm going to say the distance equal to that. If the distance less than a number, for example 0.2, we'll give it some rewards. Add reward 0.1. And here's another situation. When our player ball dot transform dot position dot y less than 0, which means that that ball has somehow falling down to the infinity, I don't know where. So that's the case where we just want to add a very negative value, -5 probably, or -1. And if that's true, after we added that kind of thing, we need to reset that ball because it's falling down. So move to the safe written position. That's what we want to say. And here's a little detail about the whole function. When we zone it into into our scene, the y should be equal to 2 instead of 0 because we want to make sure that this ball is above the plane. So here it is 2. But to be honest, I don't know the distance, the actual distance yet. So I'll just print it out. How do we do that again? Debug.log. Right, I'm gonna log out the distance so that I could have a clear idea about the distance we got. For now, the distance is 0.3. If I move this ball into some places, for example, stay away from the target ball, this number would increase to 0.7. But if I somehow let it getting close to the target ball, we'll have some value that really close to 0, which is exactly what we want. So for the reward, if it's more close to 0, that we would give it more reward. But for now, I don't know how to represent that yet. We'll just leave it there. No, actually, we need to find a way to let it know the reward. To let it know that the more close this distance approaching to 0, the more reward he gonna get. So how do we do that? We're gonna say 1 minus the distance. I'll take that as a reward to the agent or to the machine. And for this punishment, I'll just give it a very big number, about 10. Alright, so I think we just have everything set it up. We should try to start the training. But how can we do that? We're gonna go to the ML agent. We wanna install something, I guess, related to Python. Here we go, the installation. We get the Unity for sure. Now we got the Python. We could clone this repository, but Okay, we need to install the ML agent. This is a Python package. I guess we could just use this line of code. I don't know. I'll just do a search. That's interesting. So we could do nothing. You know, all we have to do is to run the Python command and it's done. So let me do a check about the Python version that I'm using. The Python version of mine is 3.7.8, but that doesn't matter. The thing that really matters is that my computer just stuck again. It's pretty bad since I cannot actually do the installation anymore based on this situation. Ah, shit. Okay, python3.m.pip, and we are going to install that package. Here we go. It's in the installation, and it's using the PyTorch instead of the TensorFlow. I don't know why, but that's fine. We don't care about that. Well, it's kind of interesting. So even if he's using the PyTorch, but he also used the package TensorBoard. So that was something that I didn't expect. He used both the TensorFlow's product and the PyTorch product. All right, it's done. After that, let's say what we should do. Let's say I'm going to create a new folder called py scripts or py scripts. Inside of that folder, we need to copy some code. From here, we got the configuration, the trainer configuration. Yeah, we're gonna copy it into here. Then I'm going to edit the, okay, we need to change this lamp from hummingbird to, let's say, to this lamp, board behavior. And then I need all of those things there. I don't want to change anything of them because I don't know how to change it yet. These are just some super parameters when you're doing some machine learning, but don't worry, we will not cover that. So for now, what we need to do is actually get started to do the training. But how can we do that? We're going to run a command. But the problem is, what kind of command that we shall run? It's something like this, as you know, ML, whatever, learn with that kind of thing. So let me try this command first. I just want to know if it's working or not. Interesting, we can run this thing, but I got stuck again. So we got this software, then we need to give it the configuration name, which is this one. Let me copy the len of it. Uh-oh, we didn't actually copy it, so let me do it again. Here we go, we got the len. That's probably not the appropriate len. Got something wrong there. Oh, this is the correct len. Okay, here we go. After that, we need to give it an ID because that's how it works. We're gonna give it an ID. I would say test 001. Okay, now I think everything is working pretty good. Let me just do this. Okay, before I do that, I just like to here we go, set the training to true. Here we go, the training model equal to true. And this one. And also, let's say, we're gonna set the behavior type from the heuristic only to the default, I guess. I don't know. Let me try it out. Here we go, this is very important. After I hit the enter button or the start button, to be honest, I say nothing. Alright, since this is the situation, let's go to the CPU part. For now, something must be really using the CPU. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything since there has no outcomes right in there. Yeah, so pretty bad. I'll just let's say, oh, we need to get into the py script folder, but where's that? Okay, it's inside of the ML board, and let me do it one by one. That's not right. First, I'm gonna stop all those scripts. Then, oh, that's pretty damned. Then we're gonna go to ML board. Yeah, after that, let me say what's the next. Okay, then we're gonna go to the asserts. This one. You may ask me why I do not use the auto-complete stuff in the terminal, because I cannot use it. I don't know why. This is probably the bug of this computer. I don't know. It just happened. You know, before this video, I do not have this bug, but for now I cannot use that. Then we are going to go to the py script. And by the way, I cannot even use the is command here. Alright. After we get into this folder, we can finally do the training or not. Let me try it. I didn't see anything pop up. Probably I'll just do the waiting, you know, because if it's working, we will start to say something like this, but I didn't see anything. So I'll just waiting here and I'll pause this recording. Okay, hello everyone, welcome back again. So I found that I couldn't use this terminal to do that training. So I just switched to the default terminal, and for this time we could probably do it correctly. Yeah, let me do that. So here we go. Now, as you could say, we could indeed run the script, but we get some error. The option default was specified in your YAML, but invalid. It says that it's invalid. That's probably not right. Why? Why it is invalid? So I'll just do a search. Oh, okay. So it says that the training configuration format has changed. Using the default behavior len has been deprecated. Okay, so we need to do the migration somehow. You know what? For this kind of error, if you do not have the Google, then you'll never know what's the problem that you are facing. So that's it. How can we do that? Again, they didn't tell us. So since we cannot use the old one, what we are going to do is to use the newest version of the configuration. Yeah, but how can we do that? Yeah, I guess the simplest way for it is just remove the default one and put it into the following section. We don't need the default anymore. Then, according to this configuration that it gives to us, we need to do some changes for it. So at the beginning, we got the behaviors. Followed by that behavior, we got this one, and then we got pretty much a lot of things. For example, the trainer type equal to PPO, even though I do not know the meaning of that, but we can still handle with it. Then we get the hyperparameters. For example, the page size, the buffer size, whatever, I just copy it. The learning rate and the learning schedule, I just put it under there. And the bets, BTA, and the greedy epsilon value. After that, it's the lambda. Lambda, it's just another variable. I don't care, but it's just a variable inside of a math formula. We don't know the math formula yet, and even if we do not know that, we can still do this training. So even if you do not know the math, you still could do this. This is where the magic comes from when you're doing some programming, because everyone have chance to do this if they want. Alright, then comes to the network settings. For this one, something like a WIS encoder type and normalize. Where is that? Okay, after that, the hidden unites. Number layers, 2 layers, number of layers, okay? And the memory. That should be the sequence length and the memory size. The max step, I will keep it there. The trainer, I don't think that we need that. Max step, we're gonna put it in here. The time horizontal, we got it right in there. And the summer frequency, right in there. And anything else, I don't know. The beach size, we already defined that probably out somewhere. And for the reward signal, it should be right. The max steps, it should be in there. We got it right in there. Well, we got 2 of them. We only need 1 of them. Use recurrence or not, I don't know. Let me just keep it there. Okay, so I think that's it. Now let me just try to run that script again right in here. Okay, we still got an error. So the use recurrent configuration is invalid, so we're gonna move it and we're gonna remove it. After that, we try it again. Now, as you could see, we got it working pretty good. We could see the Unity icon. That's awesome. So it says that start the training by pressing the play button in the Unity. So we're gonna do that. Let me do this. Do we got an error or not? From this script, we know that we got no errors. But from here, from the cancel, what just happened? Alright, so it seems like nothing really happened. That's weird. I even do not see the board is trying to move or something like that. I didn't see anything. Was that correct? Oh, here we go. We got some error. It says that the Unity environment took too long to respond. Make sure that the environment does not need user interaction to launch. The agent's behavior type is set to default. Yeah, I was definitely set the behavior to default. Or the environment and the Python interface have compatible versions. Damn it. Please downgrade the Python package between 0. Something like that. Oh, so we will try to install this version of the ML agent kind of thing, 0.20. Let's see if I could do that. That should be Python 3 and pip install. Install this one, go to 0.20. That's it. Okay, for the ML agent 0.20 version, it indeed uses TensorFlow. But I don't know why. For the latest version, he switched that stuff to from the TensorFlow to the PyTorch. I don't know why. They must got their own reasons. Hello guys, it's been, let's say, 3 or 4 hours. But this package is still not being able to be installed on my computer. Yes, you could say we got so many different stupid error. What I want to do is to install this version of that package, but it seems like we couldn't be able to do that because as you can see, for the protocol for this single package, the pip have tried so many different versions, and even for the paddle, this package also tries a lot of different versions. So it seems like the Python indeed get some problem with the packaging management, I guess. Ah, shit. And maybe this is also why the Unity decided to not use TensorFlow anymore, because it gets so many historical problems when you want to install some package. It has so many dependencies that quite hard to maintain and something like that. But with let's say PyChart, but for another package, PyTorch, it's much more simpler. You know, it doesn't have this many dependencies to maintain. So anyway, I think this is going to be, no, it's not a good idea to do this. So just stop it and try to install it again. It seems like we keep getting errors. That's quite stupid. I don't know why Python becomes something like this. This is quite simple, I guess. It's just a lampay package. You shouldn't get any error, actually. This is a basic operations that we can do. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's me. I'm back again. So I found that I have no other way to run that kind of stuff unless I install this. I want to try the Anaconda, but I found here's a problem. If I download that package from the official website, another 1 hour passed and I still couldn't get it downloaded. Fuck the China network. So I have no choice but to use a Maro website to help me download that kind of packaging. So basically I'm going to install this software. Well, let's say while he's doing the installation, I just want to say something. You know, according to this experience, I found that if we want to make everything work, we'd better install everything. Let's say we'd better install the latest version of everything, literally everything. So why here that we couldn't use the latest version of the Python ML agent package? It's because the Unity that we are using is not the latest version. We are using the 2020 version, and it's been 1 year, so that's quite old. And another thing is that why we cannot install the lampy package, why we would get this kind of weird error. Well, according to the answer from the search engine or a website, it says that this error has been fixed in the latest version of lampy. So from that, what we could learn from it is to always, for us, we have to always use the latest version of everything, especially for some technique part. I mean, the programming is definitely belongs to the technique, I guess. So if you are a programmer, what you need to do and be focused is to always use latest technique, always use those new stuff instead of stuck to some old stuff. I know you could benefit from your old experience, but eventually, when a time comes, you'll find that your old experience doesn't work anymore because the surrounding ecosystem is broken. It's too old. Okay, so that's I was trying to install this, but it says that it's going to take 1 minute, but another probably 1 hour has passed. So what the fuck about this computer, or what the fuck about the whole Python ecosystem? I think it's probably not that good as I think it should be. It's always a time wasting, I guess. You have to install all those stupid environments to be able to run a single piece of code. From here, we could see the installer right here. It's using 0.1% of CPU, which means it doesn't do anything. And yeah, let's check about the disk usage. For the disk usage, it's written this kind of KB and it's rated this kind of MB. In other words, it doesn't do the work at all. It's just stuck in here. Okay, it's just stuck in there. It's even not using the memory. So what is the fuck about this installer? Okay, that really made me a little bit angry about it. Yeah, you know what? I do not want to give up, but it seems like it's too late. It's kind of late. I have to go to sleep. Otherwise, I have to work tomorrow because tomorrow is Monday. But I don't want to just give up, we didn't reach our goal yet. But I'm pretty sure we could if we can install that packaging. But the problem is we cannot install that stupid packaging on the MSA because that stupid package requires the requires the lampy that was inside of range 2.0 and something like that. But it is said that we cannot install the lower version of lampy in the MSA. We will get some errors like this. That was stupid. That was fucking stupid. So, let's say I'm running out of way. I'm gonna do some experiment. So MSA wheels for Python wheels. Yeah, that's where we're going to have a look with. Or we can use MSA Bro to do that, I guess. For sure we could install it, but I want to install some old version of that. For example, this version. Let's see if we could do it. Bro install with that command. Fuck the Anaconda. It doesn't work. Bro install with this version of lampy. Well, are you serious? Even for this command, we cannot get the output back. So what's wrong with this computer? Are you serious? Right, it seems like it's been installed on our computer. Then we're gonna go to install this package again. We just want to make sure that it's working. If it's not, I'm going to be pretty mad about it. Guys, here's a good news. So even if we didn't successfully install the Anaconda according to the user interface, but we still got this icon inside of our application menu. So after I open that, I say a window like this. Yeah, it's probably a good thing to say all of this, but we need to install packaging. The name for that package is ML Agents. Well, it says that 0 packages available matching ML agents. That was interesting. So suppose now we got the base, kind of things like that. What we need to do is to open a terminal, or if we do not have a terminal, we shall at least have a Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Book launched. Let me get into this one, Jupyter Lab. Okay, now suppose we have the Jupyter Lab enabled. Now we shall install that package that we need by using this command, and it can be as simple as this one. Let's say if it will work or not. But as you could say, this speed is quite slow. This is how we normally feel when we do the software development under the Chinese network. And I guess this is somehow the average speed. But for some cases, it's even more stupid. You know, they will just, for some packages, they will just call the network. For example, they will make the speed to become the 0 KB per second. You know what I mean? It means we cannot connect to the service anyway. For example, if we go to the GoLine official website, so you know what? In China, actually, we couldn't be able to visit this website generally. But why you say now I could visit this website? It's because I'm using a VPN. That's the reason. Did you ever see any country that would like to ban a website like this one? You know, a programming website. Did you ever see that? No, only in China. Okay, if we're waiting for this to be finished, then it will take us another 2 hours. That's not a good thing. So I'll just pass it. Yeah, how can we solve this problem? So according to this one, it requires TensorFlow 2.6, right? Let's say if we got that environment available or not. No, we don't. So stupid. All right, let me try if we can use some procs to do that. Okay, so we could use this command to do that kind of stuff. We use a Marrow set in China. I don't know why they want to do this, but it seems to be unnecessary. Okay, for now, as you could say, we got we got a much quicker network since we are using some Marrow service in China. They normally, the China normally would like to ban everything out from China. So this is kind of interesting. I guess this is why most people, especially for those rich guy or for those guys who are very good at technique, at the coding or something like that, they intend to get out of China because it's definitely not a good place for smart people. I mean, you indeed could use a Marrow service like this one, but it could have some risk or potential risk. What if they somehow did some modification on those software that you are using? Then you are fucked. You think that you are using some official software or code from the official link, but actually you are not. You are using some third-party Marrows, and those people behind those services, they have the permission to actually change those packages. So in the end, you don't know what you have really used in your computer or in your software. You don't know that. Alright, it seems like we just finished the installation of all those stuff. So I guess from this experience, at least we have learned that if we want to do the coding, if we want to install some packaging and we do not want to face all those stupid errors and weird errors, we'd better using some package management software like the Anaconda, so that we could install those stuff correctly, so that we will not be able to, so that we don't have to say so much fuck in the radio we are recording. Okay, so that's it. Let's say if we can make it run or command. Okay, this is the command that we are going to use. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right inside this. That's right. Now we got this Unity icon available, but we get some problem. It says that previous data from this wrong ID was found, so we have to specify a new ID or delete the old result that we have. Yeah, we'll just delete the old one because I don't think that's the right result. Okay, now let me run it again. Okay, now we could start the training by press the play button in the Unity play button. I'm going to play it. And from this script, it says that connected real brain, and it's using the CPU, and we get all those hyper parameters that we just defined. But I didn't see anything on the Unity side. Okay, so as you could say, right now the blue board is in the moving, is trying to moving itself slowly, and what he does is, I don't know, he's going to fall. Alright, this training probably will take some times, I don't know. We'll say, oh no, it's almost falling. Oh, it's falling. Then it come back again, just as we expected. It's been placed into a random place at this right plane, and it's continually moving itself around. Now let's go back to the script side. We see nothing out there for now, but we could say that this blue board is continually in moving. Let me just close the cancel so that you could see it more clearly. Alright, we could even maximize this. Or we can, I don't know. I think we should be able to, here we go. Now you could see it more clearly. The blue ball is in moving, and it was controlled by the neural network. This shouldn't be a hard problem, so if I put this in here and wait for tomorrow, I guess after one night, now it's 12 a.m. Probably after, let's say, 6 hours, we would get a quite good result. I don't know. But here's another thing that I want to show you guys. Maybe we could use a tensor board to do some work. How can we do that? So we want to get some graph like this. How can we do that? Okay, this is how we do it. We use this command, tensor board log dir equal to result port, like that. Okay, we could do it. We probably could do it. Let me try it out. So inside of this, I guess everything was correct. Now I'll just press the enter button. Now I still see this blue ball is struggling to, reach the read one, but it fails. Anyway, I don't care about that. I just want to see the tensor board, but why cannot get it right? Alright, now it's on. We're gonna go to this link and have a check about it. So this is our tensor board, and for now we got basically nothing since we haven't trained it that much times. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning we'll get a nice graph, but for now we got nothing. For now I start to think about one thing. I start to feel that the blue ball is trying to get away from the red ball. Maybe I have some code wrong somewhere. Anyway, I'll just leave it there and see you tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome back. I still think that we may get some problem with the strategy that we are using. So let me see if we can make it better. So instead of doing this, I think this is kind of wrong. We shouldn't do this. But instead we should say we should have a private variable. It's a float variable, and it's a previous distance. At the beginning, it's equal to a very big number. And for each time, we're gonna say if the current distance greater than previous distance, then we are going to give it a negative reward, which is a punishment. Otherwise, we'll give it a positive reward. And for each time, we would say previous distance equal to the current distance. Yeah, I think this new strategy would work better than the previous one. I think this is kind of wrong here. And for the punishment, if it's 4, we're gonna set it to 100. Okay, then, yeah, I think that's it. For this one, I'll just set the wrong ID to test 002. Let me run this. Okay, I guess now it is getting better. I mean, it's working very hard. Try to approach the red ball. Okay, that's it. Let's leave it there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, guys, welcome back. After one night, if we go back to this graph, we would say something like this. I think it's kind of weird because I didn't say anything else special. So for now, I'll just try to use that model that we have to say how it did in the end. So we are going to go to the results and test 2. From there, we should have an NN file, something like this. Then I'm gonna drag it into drag it into here, behavior parameters model, right in here. It's kind of strange why we got 2 NN file. We actually got 2 of them, so let me try it. Any one of them would be fine. Let's first try the first one, and then after that you're gonna change this behavior type to reference so that it will only reference for it. Then we are going to uncheck the training mode right in here. Okay, after that, let me just run this game. Alright, as you could see, this is our game, and it's pretty much working pretty well. Okay, so let me run it again so you could see it clearly. Here we go, this is our game, and this is how our ML neural network was playing the game. As you could see, the blue ball is generally approaching the red ball. That's it. That's how we want it to be, and it actually does what I want. And now I know why. Here we got the training value always be 1 out there. It's because this is a very simple crossing, so that's why we get almost a straight line here. And if we look at the losses at the beginning, so we could have a full screen. The losses should be something that close to 0. The more close to 0, the more better. So if you look at this value, you would say that it's generally almost equal to 0. I don't know. Oh, here we go. At the beginning, it's very high, and at the end, it's equal to 0. Anyway, yeah, something like that. Now, if we go back to the Unity, I just want to say it again. So let me just run it again. Here we go. This is how it works. But let's say this is not funny. I'm gonna try to do some changes. For example, I want to know when the blue ball and red ball somehow collide with each other, then we're gonna do something. So to do that, we're gonna have 2 colliders. Yeah, and I'm gonna say the one of them is it's a trigger. How about we say the right one is the trigger? I don't know. Yeah, after that we're gonna find one on collection enter, on trigger enter, called when the agent's collider enters a trigger collider. Or this one called when our agent collides with something solid. This is probably that we want. But at the first we need to give this read ball a tag. So I'm gonna edit a tag and I'm going to call it a read. Alright. So after that, let me say if it collides with a tag. Okay, here we go. This one. Clashing that collider that compare tag. If this tag equal to read, then we will just reset our blue ball, which is this function. Alright, now let me just run it again. Here you go, the blue ball approaching to a red one, but it didn't trigger the function that we wanted it to track. So probably this is not how it works. We're gonna try to do it in somewhere else. For example, right in here. Then I'm going to play it again. For now, it's still not working. I don't know why. So let me say maybe we should try to set this trigger to. Oh, sorry, the target doesn't have a read tag yet. We need to assign it to it after we have created that read tag. Okay, then let me try it again. All right, now as you could say, our blue ball will generally try to approach the red ball, and after he reached that, the blue ball's position will be resetted again to a random place in anywhere inside of this plane, and it will try to approach to that red ball again, as you would say something like this, and it will start to do that process over and over again. So from this one, we could clearly say that no matter where that blue ball was spawned at, he will always be able to get it let's say he will always be able to get into the red ball, and that's exactly what we want, to be honest. And I was quite happy with this result that we have. So finally, I could be able to do some training with the reinforcement learning or the machine learning technology, and actually it's working. So I was kind of happy. So to be honest, I have tried to learn the machine learning for about a few years, since the beginning, probably 3 years ago, and now it's finally getting some results back. So I guess in the future I will try more experiments that related to the machine learning or the reinforcement learning kind of technique, and I am loving it, and I will continue to do more contributions or let's say learning about it, because I think this is probably the future. Okay, so that's it. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoy this one. If you love it, just press the subscribe button and give me a thumb up. Okay, that's it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.